it's my game of the year. It's just
What?
it is. It's so good. It's incredible, and I don't think it's going to get the flowers it deserves. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of the Addison Gaming Podcast, the show where we talk about the games we want to whenever they came out, because that is what we're playing. We talk old stuff, we talk new stuff, and we talk everything in between. I'm your host, WckdGmrUK Allen, but on this episode, you can call me Yo-Yo, because he became my favorite character and replaced. And as always, I'm joined by Mike Malldee, a.k.a. the hacker, who got Pokemon Fire Red off his Switch and onto his GBA with some magic wizardry. How you doing, Mike?
Hi. You put me on the spot like that. The ninjas are going to get me.
They're coming for the door. Don't answer the door, Mike.
How
are things, Mike? How are you doing?
It's good. It's hot. Mm-hmm. It's hotter in freaking London than it is in Texas, where I'm from.
Yes.
Where we're from.
Yeah. It is very hot. It is the kind of hot where you don't want to move at all. You almost don't want to go outside. Well, I don't, because I'm a pale white boy who gets burnt like crazy. So I stay away from the sun, and you just want to play video games. What about you? Are you going outside, or are you staying inside?
Well, I have to walk my dog, so do you.
Oh, the dog. Yeah.
Stupid bitch.
Literally.
Well,
we are not here to talk.
A bitch, though.
No, none of them are. Both our dogs are great. Well, we are not here to talk about dogs.
Boy.
We are not here to talk about the weather. We are here to talk about, or maybe not talk about games we haven't been playing, but we're going to talk about Mike sharing his journey on how he got somehow Fire Red and Leaf Green off his Switch and into his Game Boy, because that sounds pretty cool. And then I am going, thank you, Game Boy Advanced. And then I am going to give you my thoughts on my early part of playthrough of Pragmata. And then I want to share my final thoughts on Replaced, because I shared some initial thoughts. And boy, oh boy, did I come around on that game. So before we get into what Birdo. Mike, tell us about, what did you do? You sent me pictures about, this Game Boy wizardry you did? What's going on there?
I was tired of playing it on my Switch, Fire Red.
Okay.
Because I'm like, I want it in my hands, but I know I can put the Switch in my hands, but it's so big and it's so pixelated, which is cool, but also I want it in a little screen, and I wanted it with me in the toilet and on the tube and on public transit, and I don't want to take my Switch too and be like this on public transit.
Mm-hmm.
So I had it on my lap. So yeah, I have an original Switch one, the very first one that ever came out. I got it day one, and that is modded, and the only thing I have modded on there is like Checkpoint, and which Checkpoint is an app that allows you to back up your save files.
Cool.
So I don't really have anything. I don't do anything illegal on there. So I just have I really don't. I just have my modded Switch, and I don't have any games. And so what I did was I connected my Switch. First of all, I logged in my Switch. I downloaded Fire Red onto my Switch One, and then because you can transfer your save from one Switch to another. So I transferred my save from Switch 2 to Switch 1. And then once I got my save onto Switch 1, I then went into the modded area of my Switch. Then I backed up that save. Then I plugged my Switch into my computer, pulled the save from my computer, took that out. And then because I have a little Game Boy Flash thing, and I put my Fire Red Game Boy game into my computer, basically, and then flash that save onto my Fire Red cartridge, and boom, here I am. Transferred everything. Now I'm playing on my Game Boy Advanced.
So let me get this straight. So because like we're both I'm playing through Leaf Green, you're playing through Fire Red, and we're gonna like trade, because I'm doing my first official like full playthrough of a Pokemon game. I've been through lots of stop starts. You wanted to pee with it. So
yeah, sitting down,
great.
as one does.
Well done. I think, I think Pokemon should go with us everywhere. Your little pocket monsters, take them into the bathroom with us.
They are for the pocket.
They are. Now you you could have just started playing this game on the original version of it, right? The Fire Red that you have the cartridge for in
I
your GBA.
could have.
However,
You
you
bought
s-
me
I
the
did as a
Fire Red for the Switch, and so I was like, "Well, I might as well play on the Switch." And then I got over and then I was getting
right.
over, like, having to play at home or just I don't know. I like to play the Switch too, but I only like to play it docked, and so,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I was over the TV situation.
Because it is quite actually it is quite big on the TV. Even on the Switch, like Switch 2 screen, it feels quite big.
And I don't
It's
like
like real like
black bars on the side. That, like,
right.
bugs me for some
Okay.
reason. Like, they should have put, like, some kind of, like, logo or something there to fill it in,
Yeah.
but it was just bugging me. So,
And
yeah.
how far were you in the game when you decided to go through this very straightforward, not complicated at all process?
It only took me, like, 15 minutes to do,
Oh,
but,
okay.
it just sounds more complicated than it is.
It did. It sounded
A
pretty
little
intense.
convoluted, but, I, I think I had, like, my 4th or 5th gym badge at
Okay.
that point,
So,
and so
yeah.
I was more than
Yeah.
halfway through the main storyline, and then I I hopped over, and then now because I already beat the game, I'm doing the, post-game story. I put it back onto my Switch too, and now I'm playing I said, "Okay, I want my post-game to be" like, because I was so, like, I wanted to beat the Elite Four, and I wanted to finish the
Yeah.
game on my Game Boy Advance, and then I said, "Okay, now that I beat it, I'm gonna put it on my Switch, and that'll be kind of like, oh, I'll just jump in and do a little post game and try to catch them all and such as."
And such as great. I love the dedication to this, Mike. I think it is, because you're right. There's actually something really sweet about playing it on the Game Boy Advance, right? It just
Mhm.
looks really good. It looks really crisp and clean. But I love the fact that you went through all of that. Great, and I love the
I
fact
was
that
like,
we
when there's a will, there's a way." And I said, because I looked up online and
totally,
everybody was like, "You can't do it unless your Switch is modded." And I said, "No, there has to be a way." And then sure enough, I was like, "Okay, fine." And then so I thought it was going to be really complicated, and then I realized like, oh, this was not as hard as I was in my mind. It sounded like a lotted process, but it took
yeah,
like 15 minutes.
yeah.
My Switch was already modded, which is why. But if I had to mod my Switch again, that took forever, and I don't even remember how I did that.
Mm.
So
Oh yeah, I'd love to do a whole episode on like modding things because I
modding.
like the idea of it, but then I'm like, I'm such like a goody two shoe. I don't want to get in trouble for anything, and I'd be like, what if I
It's
break the
only
law?
you download all your games. I have all my physicals, so it's like if you mod and you put your own physical cartridges onto your
Hmm.
original hardware that you have and you own and
Yeah,
your cartridges you own, but you just don't wanna take them out and put them back in, then it's fun. It's like a little backup. But I
yeah,
mean, also, like, I don't really do that because I'm not trying to play all these games in one day anyway, so
sure,
normally I put one game in and that game is in there the whole month because that's all I wanna play, really.
yeah. I know that the like the devil on my shoulder would get the best of me with modding because then I would be like, well, yeah, of course I'm just backing up on my game, but I'd be like, but I could have every game that was ever released on the 3DS. Let me get it. Like I would just
Oh,
want to
that's
like,
different. They closed that app store, so yeah, it's free game.
oh,
It's
so
free
you're a
game.
moral modder. I
Moral
see.
Mater? Only on
Welcome
the
to this.
interwebs.
Welcome to the stage, moral modder. You better mod for your life. I don't know. I love a good RuPaul joke. I love it. Thank you for bearing with me on my really bad
Mod
jokes.
for your life.
Cool. Well, didn't know it could be done. I'm glad you did it. And I'm so impressed that you've like already beaten Fire Red because I'm
It was
still on like
41 hours into it already.
I
I
love
don't know
that
how
when
I
you
did that.
I love that when you sent me the photo of you finishing it, I was like, "You beat it in 41 minutes?" You were like, "Girl, that is hours." I was like, "Oh,
I said, "That's hours."
so dumb, so dumb." Oh my gosh. Well, just by
I
way of
would have
update,
beaten it a lot sooner, but I was Chansey farming, and catching Chansey is hard. And I
oh
caught like 6
yeah,
Chanseys, and that took like 8 hours. So
what's Chansey forming?
farming.
Oh, farming. I thought you
I
said
was
Chansey
trying
forming.
to get a lucky egg, which I got, thank God, on like my 8th try. And but it's really hard. It's like actually the fact that I actually got one is it's like one in big number.
Yeah.
So I did it. Lucky
And
egg, what it does
we get to
is
trade it?
it makes
And I
your
get one?
experience, like whatever Pokemon's holding the lucky egg, they get like double experience or 1.5 times experience for and whatever they do in the battle. Like so
Right.
basically if you want to level them up really quickly,
Yeah.
the lucky egg is great, but it's almost impossible to get.
Well, look at you getting your lucky egg on. That's great. Um, I've done 2 badges. I'm taking my time chipping away at it. So, if you're listening out there and you want to know the updates on my Leaf Green playthrough, that's about where I'm at. But I am loving it. I've actually kind of got my head around it this time, and I get it now. I understand the kind of like mechanics a little bit more, and how I'm getting it's getting its hooks in me, which is good. So I'm looking forward to continuing it on and seeing how we go.
I'm happy for you, but you need to hurry up.
Yeah, I need to catch them all.
I
Well,
caught you a Chansey, so don't worry, I'll just give it to you. You don't have to worry about
yes.
that.
I don't even know why that's good, but I'm just excited about it because I don't want to go through that whole problem you went through.
The safari areas, so ugh, you'll see.
Looking forward to it. Well, I have been playing through a few games that I want to just like share my thoughts on this week. Both two of them, both Pragmata and then I finished Replaced. Both two of the games that were like incredibly high on my list for excitement when we did our 2026 games coming out that we're excited for.
Mhm.
And you know what? We are eating right now with video games. They are so good at the moment, right? There's just been so
Well, I
many good
haven't
hits.
played Pragmata yet, but
Well, I just in general though, I think this year of gaming has been spectacular. I mean, with Pocopia coming out, Resident Evil Requiem,
that was good.
Pragmata, I mean, apparently 007, which comes out I think today or tomorrow. We're recording this on the 27th of May. It's getting rave reviews. Like it's just a good year for video games. I love it when this stuff happens.
StarFox.
Oh. Mike, tell the listeners about your little StarFox experience.
So wait, they basically StarFox is only a game that can only be reimagined, right?
Apparently, right? Yeah.
So like was the SNES,
Yeah.
then there was the N64, and
Mhm.
then the 3DS, and then now Nintendo Switch 2.
Yeah.
So I remember playing the N64 as a kid, and I just remember like shooting stuff. It
Yeah.
wasn't like I didn't even going through rings is all I remember. So I
Yeah.
have the 3DS one, so I was
You're just like
playing
fucking
that.
around, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then now I was trying to play it, and, it's not like hard, but it's annoying because I can't find where these it's showing me arrows, like go this way, and I'm like going that
Mhm.
way. And then it's like go that way. I'm like, where did it like I just went so I have going back and forth, and I can't find the person I'm supposed to shoot. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I'm just and plus it's on the 3DS, so I'm because of course I want to play in 3D. So I'm just like, like
Oh, yeah,
screwing my
100.
eyes up.
Yeah.
It does look amazing,
It's
but
so good.
also
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, this is hard. Like the game itself isn't hard, but I also don't know why I'm doing it or what I'm doing. And
Mhm.
even though there is a story, I just don't understand it, I guess. And I'm like, they're just remaking this again because I feel like the 3DS was the is going to be the ultimate version before
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
Uh, and the 3DS looks good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the game looks good. So I'm like, so it's gonna look the same on the Switch too, just like better? I don't know. Because watching the
Yeah.
preview and the trailer for the game, like the intro is exactly the same as the 3DS was for me when I was like, this is the same
Mhm.
game. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, it's exactly the same game. Like it's, they're just as you say, they're just remaking it for a new generation. So you've played a little bit of it, but you're not going to go back to the 3DS version. You're kind of done with it.
I mean, it's all right.
Yeah.
I might finish my mission,
Yeah.
but I don't understand how do it's taking me to like I want to choose my own journey and it won't
Yeah.
let me. It's just I think it depends on what you do. If you completed the mission in the game,
Yes.
you go down a certain path,
Yeah.
or if you lose, you still continue, but you don't go down the path you would have went if you won, I
Yeah.
guess. I keep
Yeah.
winning, so
I think there's that. I'm not overly familiar with StarFox. I played the Super Nintendo version when it came out. I missed the 64 version for some reason. I played it a little bit like you, but I didn't really give it much attention. So it's that kind of franchise that's always been knocking around. But my little understanding of it is yes, there's branching pathways depending on how successful you are, if you complete it or fail the mission, or if you find secret exits that take you another way and whatnot.
Oh.
And it's designed like, each run maybe will take you maybe an hour and a half or whatever. It's not super long. But the whole point is that there's branching paths. So to really complete all the missions and kind of
You
figure
have
everything out,
to
that's the kind of
not
thing.
do
Yeah.
good at some of them to get to the other
Yeah.
ones.
Deliberately fail maybe or something. Yeah. Yeah.
It's confusing to me, but, I
I don't
mean,
know.
it's fun, it's entertaining. I don't wanna pay a lot for the new one, but there is
Mm,
extra content in the new one, so,
yeah.
I don't know, maybe the controls will be better, in the new one than because I felt I couldn't find the people I wanted to shoot, and finally when I found them, I'm like, "Oh, this is annoying." And I was
Yeah.
like, "That's me shooting."
It was very clear what you were doing there. Yeah, I still I'm on the fence if I'm going to pick up the new Star Fox game. I mean,
You said
I'm
you
always
were last time.
yeah, I know, but like the more and more I think about it, the more and more I just get caught up in the hype cycle, and I just want to be like, but I think that the multiplayer stuff in it looks pretty cool. So
Yeah.
going online and like, having that kind of stuff gives it some possible fun. I'm not the biggest like arcadey shooter person, I never really got into the 2D ones that were really popular on the SNES and NES, like Gradius and stuff like that. I mean, they were around, but I never really enjoyed them. So it's yeah, I don't know. I might pick it up. It's not like the most expensive. I think it's gonna be like £49, so it's not a full priced game. Well, full priced game, whatever that means. Um,
Yeah.
who knows? We'll
I
see.
usually just pick up things whenever after everybody else tells me
Yeah.
it's good.
Well, yeah, I think some games I'll be happy to pick it up before I hear about the reviews. But
Mm,
Star Fox, I'll wait to
yeah.
see what the reviews say, and then because it's a little bit like the new Yoshi game. Like I want to play that, the one that was just been released in the
The
Mysterious
coloring
Book.
book one or whatever it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah. But there's enough like kind of like viewpoints on it that I'm like, okay, I don't necessarily need to rush out and buy this. I'll get it at some point or another.
It's a
But
storybook, not a coloring book. There
mm,
was a crayon one back in the day, wasn't there? And then there was a yarn one,
there's
and
the
this one's like a
definitely the Woolly
story one.
World.
This one's a
There
story
is
one.
this Yoshi story from the N64, which kind of have crayon-y aspects to it. Oh no, the very first one, Yoshi's Island, looked definitely like it was crayons.
I remember they
Um, yeah,
Yoshi just has basically it's made by kindergarteners
yeah,
in the 5th grade. 5th grade?
yeah,
What am I talking about? Kindergarteners in an elementary school, and they are like, "Here." And
yeah,
then Nintendo's like, "Arigato gozaimasu," and boom, Prince
yeah.
runs the game.
Yeah, and oh gosh, we're going down a path here, but like there it's frustrating because Yoshi's my favorite character in, the Mario universe. My favorite game is Super Mario World, but like ask
Mhm.
me on another day, it might be Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island because I just think those two are such brilliant platforming. And we peaked with Yoshi's Island, right? It was just so good that all the other Yoshi games that have come after it just feel like they're like trying to live up to that kind of like brilliance. And it's always like I want it to be, and then it's always a little bit disappointing. I mean,
They're
there's some
just
good
really
games, but
cute is all they are.
they're fine
But
games.
I
They're
feel
just
like
fine.
Yoshi is a force to be reckoned with. He spits
Hmm.
fire out of his mouth sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
they should make him a badass, and he should be like a Godzilla kind of game, and he could like just rip people apart and have blood spurting all over the place. And he should.
Uh, like a kaiju, like Yoshi that just gets really big and like takes
Yeah,
over everything around. Oh my
yeah.
gosh. I feel like there's probably like somewhere in one of the Yoshi games you get like the mushroom and you get pretty big or whatever. But like, I love the fact that Yoshi's gone full on Mortal Kombat and is like killing everything around him, like
He
ripping them in
should.
half and stuff
Like
like that.
Rampage.
Yeah. Ooh, that could be quite fun. Like, what was that Wreck-It game? With there was a building game I think Nintendo
Wreck-It
did that was kind of
Ralph.
like, yeah, but I think it was their version of Wreck-It Ralph or something. There was something like that. Oh, I can't remember.
Wreck-It Ralph's the
Um,
movie. But anyway,
yeah, I think it was a video game too.
I was talking about Rampage, the video
I can't
game.
remember. Yeah, the ones with on the buildings and stuff.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and then yeah, but what's the Nintendo version of that, right? Where you've got like Yoshi with Toad doing it and all that stuff. That would be
Oh,
cool.
that'd be fun.
Yeah. Uh,
Anyway,
anyways, so yeah, so yeah, let me start with Pragmata.
well, I
I
haven't, like I said, I haven't played
oh,
Pragmata yet,
okay.
but from the outside, it looks like Capcom doing sci-fi action with
Yeah.
a hacking combat partnership thing. So
Yes.
I want you to sell me on it.
Ooh, okay, challenge. So, do you like sci-fi themed video games? Let's start
Always.
there. Okay, you do. Great. And do you like it when they are set in like a very cool, stylized kind of environment on a different planet? You know, thinking very like white walls and, you know, lo-fi aesthetic because they're just practical, but with cool technology.
I could.
Okay, great. And then do you like sci-fi adventures where suddenly you are the only person in that's left because of a big accident happening, and and you have to find your way through this environment, fighting off the enemies?
Like Metroid in a way? Like you're
Great,
the
love
only
it. Yeah,
person, really?
you're the only person. Yeah, exactly. So you like Metroid, then you're gonna like Pragmatic. Good, we're done.
Okay.
No, no, but I think if you first, I mean, if you genuinely are like interested in like sci-fi environments and that kind of stuff, game gets that environment so well down. It's really cool. So the story is you are a team. They've like people have colonized the moon, right? And they've come
Ooh.
up with this way to 3D print with this material that I believe can only be found on the moon. I'm not fully like I haven't fully taken in the whole story, so if I get this a little bit this wrong, correct me, listeners, in the comments. But you get this. There's this material on the moon that can like quickly 3D print like large scale big things, like whole bases and stuff like
Ooh.
that. So they're really able to kind of expedite what they can do, and they have an AI system that helps them kind of do all of that. And then the AI system, and they print robots and all that stuff to help them. And then this team, it all falls apart. We don't know why. The AI takes over, and the robots start attacking the humans that are there. So they sort of take
Makes
over the base.
sense.
Great, yeah. Then so you show up. That's the first part of the game. You're there with about 5 people going to go check out the moon base and see if everything's okay. And then that's when everything falls apart and your party dies immediately. So I'm not spoiling anything. And you are left on your own to try and like figure out what's going on. Very early on, you bump into this character. I think it's Diana or Diane. I can't remember if it's Diana or
It's
Diane.
Diana.
Diana, okay, who is a robot, but she's a young girl version of a robot. And you team up and find yourself trying to escort her to where you need to go to find out
Why
what's
is she on
happened
your
on this
back? Can she
base.
not walk?
No, she can walk.
Mm.
However, it's faster for him to carry her on her back. I mean, just to get around. So
Mm.
when they decide to do that, but also from a gameplay perspective, that's probably the best way to like do what they had to do from that.
And what's
So
his name?
I can't remember. I don't remember what his name is. Cool
Hold on.
character. I'm sorry, you put me on the spot a little bit.
Hugh.
Hugh. Yes. So Hugh and Diana set off to like go around the base and discover what's been going on, and why the robots are attacking and going against the human beings. So I'm only about 10 to probably about 15 hours into it. I'm
I
in
thought you were going to say
this
15 minutes.
no,
It's like, oh,
no, no,
come
no,
on.
no. I'm about 15 hours into it. I'm in the second, just about to complete the second kind of big area of the game.
So, is it more of a shooter, puzzle game, action adventure, open world? What is it? Is it its own thing, or is it like
It,
sandbox?
it's sandbox. So, in terms of like it's not, it's open sandbox. So,
Is it very
you
much like Metroid?
no,
Like that style? Each area is like its own open area.
N it has biomes, so yes, a little bit like that, except there is one central hub that you always go back to. So you've got your central hub, and then you take a a a machine that gets you to go to the other hubs where
Sounds
they are,
very
right?
Metroid Prime 4.
Well, it could be. Yes,
You have your
yes.
central hub,
Yeah,
and then you
you
get
too.
shot out to somewhere else.
Kind of Metroid Prime 4 in that way. I'm not gonna argue
Except
with
you
it.
have this annoying desert area, but yeah.
Yeah, and this one, they really get the traveling down great, because you go to your hub, and it's not you can't go to any zone, you sort of have to work your way around. So you take this machine to this hub, and then throughout the world that you're in, it's like, you find different locations where you can then immediately go back to your hub even before you finish the area. So you
Mm.
always are going back to your hub to either upgrade your weapons or to replenish your energy or to save it. So it really allows you to kind of just dip in and out as you want to. You don't have to like spend hours playing the game if you don't want to, which is I
Are
think a
you
really
ever
great plus.
scared?
No, I've never been
Mm,
scared, so
I
it's
like
not the
being scared.
horror experience of, like, Resident Evil 9, um,
That was scary.
but to the kinda gameplay, to answer that, like, scary part,
Things do jump out.
yeah, definitely do jump out. There's really big monsters, and there's really weird, creepy designs of monsters, so, like, some of them are really big babies that are, like, crawling at you in this, like, crazy
So,
way.
are these monsters robots or are
Yes,
they
robots, sorry.
monsters? Oh, they're
They're
robotic
robots, yeah,
monsters.
robotic monsters. Who have kind of, been taken over by the AI system that's trying to stop
Got
you,
it.
Hugh and Diana, from getting through.
Got
Um,
it.
so the core aspect of the gameplay is it's exploration. So you're like going around these different areas and you find clues about like what's happened and what people were working on and kind of why the world is the way that it is. So I love that sort of stuff. And then as you go through, like the robots see you as an intruder, and so every time you're in a new area, they're coming for you. So you have to fight
Do
them
they see
off.
Diana as an intruder?
Yes. I don't
Mm.
know. I don't know if I don't know about
And
that.
what we don't know why she wasn't affected by the AI.
I don't know yet. No, but so I'm
Mm.
sure that will come up.
Is she cute? Is it funny? Is it like protect this child at all costs? Or is it just kind of does it avoid being too sentimental?
It's charming. It actually gets the tone right of, because he's a guy that doesn't have kids. And there's
Hmm.
actually a line at the very start that's like, "Oh, kids, blah, blah, blah,"
It's
right?
very
So,
Walking Dead.
but
Well, he
better
did
than
he
that.
have kids? Did he have kids? I can't even remember. No.
I didn't really watch Walking Dead, but what it doesn't do is suddenly be like, "Oh, this guy who doesn't like kids has to start liking this, young robot girl." Like he's pretty cool. They get on really quick and they build a relationship and part of the game is building a relationship. So it is cute. It is charming because they've they've got the character of Diana down really well where she is cutesy and girly, but she isn't annoying, which is really
That's
good
good.
because it could have gotten really grating. There's some things, but that are like a little bit
Does she
annoying, but
tell you she's like, "Maybe we should go over there, or maybe we should try up there, or maybe"
there is a little bit of that, but not enough that it kind of that it's a bad thing, right?
it's like, "What if we pulled that lever? I bet the door would open."
Is there some of that? The
Wrong
if
lever. Sorry.
I think no, I think there is a little bit of that, but it hasn't stood out to me to be annoying
Okay,
yet,
good.
right? So, all the kind of character building and stuff is really, really good. And one of the great things about making Diana a robot is like you're in some really like intense situations, like huge fights, like, really scary things. And if this was like a young girl and like that would be kind of weird. I'd be like, "Oh my God, this like little kid, it's pretty scary." But with the robot, very early on, they have a
But
moment
she's
where
fighting too, right?
yeah, and I'll explain how she does that in just a second. Like, but really early on, they like there's a moment where in a cutscene, she finds herself in big danger and Hugh saves her. And she's like, "You don't have to worry about me. You can just reboot me when you get back to the thingy." So it's like they very quickly go like, "Don't worry about this, don't worry
Oh,
as a
so you
little
don't
girl."
have to make sure she's okay.
Yeah, but it's like if you die, she doesn't die. Like she doesn't have like a energy bar or anything. It's just yours, right? So
Mm.
it's only you that dies basically, as far as I know so far. Um so how does it like what's the combat what's the gameplay like, right? So you're walking through and then
Do you switch between the 2?
no.
Oh,
So they work in tandem. So, for example, a robot shows up and Diana has the ability to hack into them. So that's when she's putting her hand out. That's what's happening. And
Ah.
when you hack into them, it slows down just a little. No, oh, no, actually, it doesn't slow down. So a little screen pops up that has a grid, right? And you need to move a cursor using your A, B, X, Y, Z buttons. So to the right with A, to the left. I'm playing on Switch too, so those are the buttons I know.
Okay.
So you those as your directional, and you need to get to one square that is the hack square, right? So you have to move this over. They hack, which then exposes the robot's weakness, and then Hugh can then shoot to like try and take them down. So it's
Does it
this
like
joint
pause the game while she's hacking?
no. So everything's still
So
moving on while you're
is it
hacking. So
stealthy?
no, it's full on actiony. Like it's intense. It's intense.
You have to
So
hack while you're like trying to dodge?
yeah, it's great, but it works because the robots don't move crazy fast. Like there's some that move in weird patterns and stuff like that. But the game really makes it work because you're trying to like dodge some of these, and there'll be like maybe 6 or 7 robots on at a time. And
Huh.
you've got to try and hack them and shoot them and like take them down slowly but surely.
So when I was talking about hacking,
Yeah.
I was thinking like hack and slash, but no, this is actually
Mm.
computer
This
hacking.
is literally hacking. Yeah, literally hacking. Yeah. Um, Now, like the cool part is you will level up Diana, you will level up Hugh, and you will level up your weapons. And as you're leveling up Diana, what you get are different ways to add mods or nodes into your grid. So, for example, you could get like a shield node or mod. I'm not sure which one it is, and you could get a confusion one, right?
Hmm.
So your grid pops up and you could have a shield one here and a confusion one here, and then your final bit that you need to get to do the final hack is here. So you have to maneuver to get to hit all of those things. So you want to hit both of those options and then get to the hack bit, because when you do that, the confusion thing will activate and the robot will start fighting the other robots, and then the shield thing will activate, meaning that they're more vulnerable to things. So there's ways to grow your hackability with Diana that actually give you even more power with the robots, because she's learning to like lower their defenses and confuse them or do other things that show up. So it becomes this really interesting kind of you know mechanic where it's not just get dance around the squares on the grid, but it is about like strategically, because you only get a certain number of these mods. You're like, ooh, do I want to use these mods on this robot, or do I want to
Oh.
save them for a bigger one? So you have to start thinking about how you're going to plan out what you have in your resources.
You
um
have to
yeah.
hack them to kill, or do
Yes.
you?
Yeah. Well, yes, technically, like, let's say for the area that I'm in at the moment, it's more of like a forest, like an artificial forest is taking over things and they're trying to recreate weather systems. So there are moments in certain things where lightning is striking because it's trying to strike you because they see you as an intruder. But if you are able to maneuver the robot into the area of the lightning strike, you can use that to then strike them, and then they shake and you can then hack them faster and all that kind of stuff. So it sounds,
So
I don't know if
you
go on, go on.
I
Yeah.
was just gonna say, so your whole goal. Well, do we know why? Like, why Diana wants to help you?
If we do early on, I have forgotten.
Hmm.
But I think
The
that
likely
she's, I
story.
think, yeah, very probably. But I kind of think she's there and she's just going like, sure, I'll help. Like, I think there is Hugh going, I need to get away off this base. And Diana's, I think she largely is just going like, yeah, I'll come with you and help you find a way. So I think it's just this kind of quick thing. And then there isn't a lot of like build up to why she helps you. She just kind of does, I
I'm sure
guess.
the story will grow more.
Yeah. I hear really positive things about the story, so I'm excited to see how it plays out.
And
But
this game's probably
yeah.
just like a one and done, right? Like, there's no really replay value.
No, oh no, there would definitely be replay value because there is
Don't tell me there's like a master mode, like a harder
I
mode.
don't
I'm like,
I
no,
don't know
I'm not.
about that, but I know that there are lots of like hidden items throughout each area. You will get more skills, like maybe ability, because Hugh has a jump that you can then like use power boots to help you like hover a bit
Double
longer.
jump.
I don't know if it's double jump. I think it's more of like a hover jump. But you will get a longer hover jump, which means you can get to another area that you couldn't get to before. And so there is going to be things, or there's like certain rooms that are like really challenging rooms that you might not be strong enough to go in and beat all the robots yet, but you want to go back and do it because you get lots of really good points and you get upgrades and all that kind of stuff. So I
Dang.
there it's it, it it's really good. It's really really good. I, I think that it's there's a lot of different options for how people like to choose to play, right? So as you go and play through, you get to choose like which weapons you want to load out, and there's a lot of different type of weapons, right? So you can have one that's a strategic weapon where you blast out a hologram of yourself, and that will last for a few minutes, and then that means all the monsters go towards that, which gives you a chance to kind of like get them distracted while you do some other things to hack them and then like hit them with your most powerful weapon. So or there's other ways that you use that type of weapon or a similar strategic weapon to hit multiple people at one time, but you only get one or two of those. I mean, multiple robots at one time, you only get a couple shots on that. So you got to be really good about, how you're utilizing all these different resources in
So
your
it's not
weapons.
only is there inventory management?
No, not
So
so
the
much like a
inventory
Resident
management is
Evil.
how you use your weapons in a way.
Exactly. Yeah. So when I was talking about you go back to your base, like in throughout the level, you'll get checkpoints and you can then go back to your base and refill. You can just go back to your base, get more energy, and then you could decide if you want to change your weapon loadout because you have to choose it every time you go back into the playing area. So, there is some strategy where you can go, you're limited on what you can bring. You can't just bring every weapon with you. But you can then go back and change it up if you think something's going to be better. So I
Okay.
think it's just great. It's got arcadey like feel to it in terms of action, where you're just kind of like shooting and really like growing as in a way that feels satisfying as a player. Um, it's not overly hard. Like, yes, I die. Some of the bosses are really challenging, but you just need to get a little bit better and a more strategic and take your time and figure it out. So it's great. I think I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm going to definitely see it through, but I was distracted by the other game I want to talk about, which is why I haven't played as much of it because I wanted to go back and play that one. So
Well,
yeah.
I do like how this sounds, the Pragmata,
Yeah.
and yeah, so maybe
It's
check it out.
I'm playing it on Switch too. Performance-wise, I kind of wish I would have got it on
PS5.
PS5 or Xbox, but I have to say it's playable, but there's definitely moments where I can go like, "Oh, this is really chugging along with like frame rate drops and stuff." They're really pushing the Switch too, but it's
Uh,
fine. It's not the end of the world. And it's still playable, but I think it's a really pretty game, and I think I would have just probably been more drawn to it graphically, on the PlayStation 5. But I'm happy with playing it on my Switch too. I think it's great.
okay.
Perfectly serviceable. So check
And
it out.
next.
Yes. So I
Next
I
is
wanted I
replaced.
yeah, and I wanted to just kind of share my final thoughts on Replace because I talked about it on an earlier episode.
And you were kind of critical of it on the
Yeah,
earlier episode because you said it was very slow.
100%.
And you were just felt like you were just walking through some screens to get
Yep.
to the next one, and it was just kind of and you were kind of over that,
Yep.
but that you still keep that same opinion about on that.
Yes. However, what I've realized as I went through and finished the game is replaced and the reason why I want to talk about it is because I really want to try and get people to play this game. If you're listening and you are on the fence about it, it's the Replaced is a game that a, is amazing because of the sum of its parts, but it is flawed because of those parts, right?
Okay.
So all of that, like there is the way the game is structured is, each chapter is effectively you moving left to right to get to, the next part of the stage, which will include, as I, mentioned, some platforming that you need to get over, battles, fights with a bunch of enemies at one time, maybe some mild puzzle solving, and then a big battle or a big boss fight, and then that's kind of, the end. That's the end of it. Oh, some stealth bits where you are having to hide from one-shot kills, if you will.
Oh.
Which, in and of themselves, they were fine to play, but when you take all of that and put it together, plus the story, and by the end of, as you progress through the game, they really build on all these mechanics in a way that I found was so satisfying, and culminated in you using all of these like platforming skills and fighting skills and everything to really challenge you, as you get towards the end, and the final kind of battle and all that stuff, where it just felt so freaking good. It was so good.
It's a good feeling.
It was a really good feeling. And it works. The thing that also really delivered in this game is the story. I'm still thinking about it, and I
You're
finished
still
it. I
thinking of
still
the
think about it.
story?
Honestly, I really am. Do you know you have those books or those films or maybe even those games where you go like, man, that game really hit me. It really got me. That you still
Yeah.
like, you can, you know how you feel after you've played them. And Replaced is one of them. And I think what, not to be hyperbolic about it, but I think the so the story is effectively, just as a reminder, if you haven't played it or you're curious, you play as this character named Reach, who
But REACH is an
is
acronym.
Reach is an acronym for a sorry, let me start it. So you start off as Warren. Warren is
Oh.
a scientist who has created this AI program that helps, this AI program called Reach, that helps identify people who are looking for transplants with the best person around the world to give them to them. Right. So it's a really awesome, like, altruistic program for AI. And there's reasons for all of this that you discover on the way about why Warren was doing this. However, uh, through through a circumstance that happens right at the beginning of the game, um, the Reach program overtakes Warren's body, and now suddenly you are playing as Reach, who is this sentient AI program that's been downloaded into Warren's body, and you have to try and figure out how you decouple yourselves from this. So
Mm.
that's the kind of conceit of it. In the background, you have the Phoenix Corporation, who is, awful, terrible, oppressive. This is post-apocalyptic, alternate reality after World War II, where where the evil people won and nuclear holocaust happened and all that stuff. So it's, all that wonderful kind of cool setting. And then the Phoenix Corporation is the biggest one, and they're using all this stuff for nefarious reasons, right? They're going in and harvesting those
Nefarious.
parts and like oppressing people and all those kind of things. So, the way that the story plays out, like, asks really big themes on, are we allowing AI to have too much power, which is very relevant today, right? Like, it is taking over people's jobs. That we know people are losing jobs because of it, and it's going to continue to happen. We're feeding it all this information. We think people are using it for good, but there are absolutely people out there for using it for bad reasons and for, reducing humanity and all of those things. And then the couple that with like Warren's backstory and why he was motivated to do what he did and how the corruption happened and all that stuff. It just really hit with me, and it just, I felt, was delivered in a really powerful way that just stuck with me throughout. So I just feel, for me right now, it's my game of the year. It's just it
What?
is. It's so good. It's incredible, and I don't think it's going to get the flowers it deserves. I know this
Well,
game is not for
flowers can't
everybody.
grow in that post-apocalyptic world.
Well, there's a few places they can, which is fine.
Mm.
There's some, yeah, but that point of like that metaphor of flowers, like, there are springs of hope where even in all of this like awfulness, humanity still thrives, right? And that's another theme, that humanity, finds a way, and actually the journey this computer program goes on to like understand what it means to be human is really powerful as well.
And did you play
Um,
this on your Switch as well?
no, it's not on Switch right
Oh,
now.
it's
It's
not
only on
on
Steam
Switch,
and it's
only on
on Xbox, right?
Steam.
Yeah. Steam and
But
Xbox.
this
Yeah.
would run fine on Switch too.
Oh, I would think it would. Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't be surprised if it's announced for Switch 2 this year and it comes out. Like, it absolutely will.
Okay, I'll
It
wait.
should. Yeah. Well, but here's the thing. I'm not going to sit back and suggest anybody play this game, right? If you look at it, the graphics are beautiful. The way that it all works together is phenomenal. Like some of the camera work is stunning and just beautiful. Oh, I loved it. I love being in that world. The vibes and everything. The music is hands down needs to win soundtrack of the year. I listen to that one while I'm working now. It's so
Do
good.
you?
It's so good. It's just
You're
so haunting and
obsessed.
like I'm obsessed with it. You know, it's just got really good synth 80 vibes with haunting like melodies and like really good lyrics
And it's
and
only like 14 pounds right
yeah,
now
it's not super
on
expensive.
Steam.
Um but I think here's the thing. Here's how I can recommend this. If you are somebody who is really drawn to narrative driven games and appreciates like learning skills throughout your journey, but knowing that there's a challenge and it's going to be repetitive, but that is helping you build to the culmination of like fighting, you know, understanding why all this happens. And you're drawn to like pixelated 2D art because it is so beautiful, then I think this game is something that you will really enjoy. Is it perfect? No. Does it have moments when I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this walking bit again, like I said earlier on? Yes. But I'm glad I stuck it out, and it's for me my game of the year right now, just because of how much it's affected me, and I just think how good the overall components I say make for the overall experience. It just it's really good. I want to
The
stop
good outweigh the
talking and playing
bad.
it. I think so. Yeah,
You want to
it's a
play it
yeah
again?
yeah I do because one of the cool things is
It's
as you go through.
replayable.
Only if you want to like find all the things in it, right? So as
Mm.
you go through, you find newspaper articles that you can read to like build in the lore. There is this other things you find, which are songs that are written by one of the characters, which they organically weave into it. That you can listen to on your little like Walkman device that you have that you carry around. So there's things to discover that for me I thought was really cool in terms of, you know, the building the story and all that kind of stuff. But it was more that I just like being in the world. Like I loved being in the atmosphere. I loved the characters.
So you
It
just
all hit
can't
with
wait
me.
to live in a
I guess so.
post-apocalyptic
I think
world.
that's what that means. I'm ready for it to all go to
You're like
shit and like,
ready.
yeah,
You're ready
as
to fend
long
for yourself.
as long as it's outside the walls of Phoenix City and I'm not part of the evil corporation, I'm part of the team that's trying to take them down.
Yeah,
Um,
Phoenix is
yeah.
hot.
So, you know, I'm a bit effusive and I'm a bit like emotionally driven by this, but like I just love this game and I just wanted to talk about it because I think, you know, over playing it and finishing it after that first bit of conversation we had, I'm really got stuck with it and I just loved it. And it's not it's a straightforward recommendation if you like what you're hearing me talk about, but if you're kind of put off by it, don't do it because you're gonna not. I don't think it's gonna win you over in any way,
Mm.
shape, or form. So
How
yeah,
many hours did you put into it?
I think it was about 14 hours in total.
Huh,
Yeah,
it's fine.
so it's not like you could you could beat it over a weekend,
I
but
feel like I
it's long.
put 41 hours into Pokemon Fire Red so far, and I
Yeah.
don't even remember doing it. That's the crazy thing. Like I literally feel like I only played it for I feel like I played it for 2 days,
Mm-hmm.
but that's impossible. Well, yeah, I mean it is,
Yeah.
but like no, I put 41 hours. What the hell?
And then like to riff off that, like you played 41 hours and you don't necessarily like it doesn't feel like you did, but also you don't remember that 41 hours. I pretty much remember, you know, majority of the hours I played with Reach because I just felt it was really it was just good. It was really good for
Yeah.
me. So
I might have fell asleep with my Switch on and Pokemon just like in the background, so that could have added like 3 or 4 hours to it, but
you probably did like where it just falls on your head, like where you just like
at
all
the
over it.
TV with my
Yeah.
controller, yeah. And then you look and you're like, "Why is my TV so dim?
Yeah.
Why is like I could barely see?"
Yeah.
And then you realize you fell asleep.
Yeah.
May or
Yeah,
may have not,
so
allegedly.
yeah, there you go. Those are my thoughts on Pragmata and Replaced. And if you want to, you know, indulge me and even more by listening to me rattle on about things, you can read the full review of Replaced that just went up on the website there if you want some more insight into it.
What's our website?
www.outofscenegaming.co.uk. That is www.outofsyncgaming.co.uk.
Triple dubs.
Triple dubs. Is it better to say World Wide Web or www?
You just say outofsyncgaming.co.uk.
Oh. Oldie.
There's no www anymore. Like nobody does that.
HTTPS yada yada yada.
//////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////
episode. Thanks for tuning in. Do you have a question you'd like to ask myself and Mike, or have you played any of the games we talked about and you want to share your thoughts? You can email those to us at gamers at out of sync. Let me try that one more time. At gamers at outofsyncgaming.co.uk. Again, that's gamers at outofsyncgaming.co.uk. Shoot us an email. Let us know what you're playing. We'll talk about it on an upcoming episode. Where can people find us on socials, Mike?
Yeah, check us out on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Discord. Just search for Out of Sync Gaming.
Awesome. And just to give you some things that are coming down the line, send us an email in about what you have felt about the first year of the Switch 2. Do you have a Switch 2?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts overall? Because our next episode is going to be all about the Switch 2, from the pre-launch, the pricing challenges, the launch
Price has
games,
gone up.
the lineups, right? We're going to talk everything Switch 2 and see how we're feeling about it since it's launched a year ago. So yeah, send us in anything you want us to talk about on the next episode, which we will be recording later this week. So get those emails in. Like and subscribe, please. Hit that bell and that notification. We are growing the subscribers, and we wouldn't want you to miss any of the great content we have coming down the line. We continue our playthrough of Tomodachi Life on Sink It to the Dream. We've just launched our series, Get Into the Bits, where we talk to developers about their work in gaming. And we're continuing our playthrough of all the Zeldas for part of the 40th anniversary. We just did our review of Link's Awakening on the Game Boy. The best one, in my opinion. Chef's Kiss. It was so good.
Chef's Kiss.
So check that one out. And we will be coming soon-ish, talking about Ocarina of Time. So I'm loving that journey. It's so fun. OOT. I think that's probably about everything for now. So until next time.
Play what you want to.
Bye.
Bye.